There are a lot of things that I regret doing, and for the most part, I haven't been able to get um past most of them, and I'm trying my best. But something I wanna realize today is they don't matter. You know, your regrets, they only weigh you down and they don't really benefit you as a person. So welcome to day 146 of my 365-day series. I'm Glorporous and I think out loud while playing Minecraft. Today, we're just gonna be doing something very simple, which is make a proper sleeping area for our villagers, and that's gonna be very easy. So if I finish that, I'm gonna make one of them a Fletcher and the other one a librarian, and hopefully I can get mending so that we can fix all of our tools because they're very low durability right now. Anyway, I wanted to talk about today's topic because I went to school today, or actually as of this recording it would be on Tuesday, let's just say yesterday. I went to school yesterday and for the most part it was okay. It was like this extra lesson time which felt useless, and is one of you gonna turn into like a Fletcher, or please guys, Fletcher, turn into a Fletcher please. Alright, thank you, you have good traits. Now I just need to take some wool. Alright, so I just went to school and then I had a sort of practice for a student council event, and it went fine. I didn't even do much for the most part, and the thing is, when I was there, you know, just trying my best to help out, I felt a sense of regret flush over me because I feel like I don't really contribute much. I even had to open up with one of my... it's sort of weird. I'll just call him a friend for the time being, but it's sort of difficult to define them. Like it's either a very close acquaintance or a genuine friend, but those are very difficult terms to discern. Anyway, and I also have more regrets other than that. When I was, you know, we were done with the event practice, and then I was asked to whether I wanted to go to the mall with, you know, a bunch of other members, which, some of which, actually no, most of which I am familiar with, but some of them, let me give you some backstory about myself. So during the pandemic, I was in 4th until 6th grade, and during that time, I think I'm like one of my classmates made a Discord server, and with that Discord server, she invited me, and we basically just cheated. You know, whenever there'd be tasks, usually the tasks were on Google Forms, we would just, you know, like, oh, what was the answer to this? What was the answer to that? Because at the time we didn't have advanced AI, and like I knew her once, and she asked me after the event practice whether I wanted to go to the mall with the other members, and I misheard and I said no, and the way I said no was very rude seeming. Also, where are the sheep? I've been looking around for sheep this whole time. There hasn't been a single one. I have no clue why. But anyway, point is, I can get so hung up on the most irrelevant, the most random things ever, and feel this sense of regret. It's annoying, and that's just how I am, you know. And I was thinking through this and thinking to myself, like, there's not a lot of reason to be thinking like this, right? When you regret, you don't really take action, you don't really move forward as a person unless you use that regret as a sort of lesson, right? So, point being, I I overthink way too much, and I shouldn't really be doing that. So I'm gonna try my best to take action. There's a lot of regrets that I have. For example, um, I think I regret having been in a relationship and then, inevitably breaking up because it sort of made me scared of people. What if people had a negative view of me because my ex told other people like, oh, this guy's a jerk, we broke up because of yada yada yada. I regret going into it in the first place because I wasn't mentally prepared for what a relationship really is. I think a lot of teenagers sort of believe that a relationship is just, like, oh, two people are close together and then, they fall in love, but it's not like true love, you're not staying in the love, you're just falling in it, right? You're just taking a dip into what could happen, but you're not sure if that will happen. Like, you live a happy life with that person. Probably not, because teenagers are volatile in emotion, including me. I'm referring to myself and other people when I say this, but I was volatile and I still am volatile. And like, you're trying to learn responsibilities, you're trying to become a better person, you're trying to figure out what you want to do in the future. It's a whole bunch of things that require you time, alone time to figure yourself out first, because I feel like that's one of the key things that you need to do before you can really get into a relationship, because you can't really afford to still be figuring yourself out while you're in a relationship. You sort of can, like, you can have issues and talk about it with your partner, but you should still be developing as a person independently. Some things you just need to figure out yourself. I can't really name them, but hopefully you understand my point. I explained that for too long, but essentially, after being in a relationship, I realized how much it affected me. I am now deathly afraid of approaching girls because some of them are friends with my ex, or at least used to be. I don't know how their condition is, but I just regret it because I hurt people. I regret hurting people. And sometimes regrets are okay, but that's only if you can take genuine, valuable lessons out of them. And I'm scared that I might not be doing that. But I recently started to take action. Before recording this video, yesterday actually, I was writing a story during the practice. Now, what exactly was I writing about? I can't exactly give you the details, but it's something, and it's something that I'm really proud of. And for once, I can say to myself proudly, I did something that I didn't regret. I can't give you all the nitty-gritty details, but the point is, the story is something that I've been meaning to write, and I'm figuring out my voice. And I think that's really valuable as a teenager, understanding that you have your own voice, you possess yourself, and you can grow. You can grow through talent. You have visible proof showing that, oh, you're improving, you're genuinely doing something. Because let me tell you something, I am a very avid thinker. I like to think a lot. I like to daydream about all these different stories in my head that I never realized until now. And only yesterday that I finally start to write something independently, not because someone told me like, oh, you need to write this for your assignment. I did this out of my own will, and I think that's really important, and I think it's enough to show that I'm capable of doing something I won't regret. And I think that's enough to tell myself that regrets are useless to hold on to. So I'm gonna stop cutting down this tree because I've gotten my point across. I will trade with the villager. Hopefully I have enough sticks. Yes, I do. And once I trade with that Fletcher, I'm gonna call it a day. So I'm sorry, I wanna apologize if in the previous videos I might have seemed, not in a good mood, or maybe just not in a good condition in general. And I just wanna say that this is me trying to take action. Like I do regret constantly being in a bad mood and making these videos such a pain to go through. I don't edit any of these videos, and you're essentially listening to another person's internal thought, which is like, I'm trying to voice it out loud, and I've been wanting to change that. So this is my first step towards something like that. So that's gonna be all for today's video. I think I said enough. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll be seeing you guys tomorrow. Bye bye.